Listen closely. I have a dream that young people would be informed and empowered to make the right decisions about their money. Welcome to Ground Zero, your go-to source for everything finance. Each week, we will bring you insights and analysis on the latest in the world of finance, as well as practical advice on how you can navigate the often complex world of personal finance, from budgeting, savings, and investments, credit and debt management. We'll cover it all so you can make the best and informed decisions about your money. Join us as we explore the world of finance and help you build a strong financial foundation for your future. Listen in every Sunday at 14 hours as we swim through the world of personal finance. Welcome to Ground Zero. Welcome home. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Based on the time that you're listening to this podcast, welcome to Ground Zero, your one stop for all personal finance conversations. And we're happy to have you here. If you are listening to us again, well, thank you so much for coming back. If you're a new listener, we're glad that you're here. We hope that you learn with us, discuss with us, interact with us, and become a better person with us. Ground Zero is all about having personal finance conversations that leave us on the better end of making an informed decision about our personal finances. And as you may already know, today we're talking about our relationship with money. As such, we're going to be talking and looking at a few aspects on just how best we can put ourselves in that position where we improve our personal relationship with money. One verse comes to mind as I say this, that is the book of Proverbs chapter 4 verses 7, and it says, wisdom is a principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and in all you're getting, get understanding. So should we get understanding as we are interacting on this platform? Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick your brain on something. I want you to imagine with me. Imagine with me here. Let's move 5 years from today. Let's move 10 years from today. Let's move 15 years from today and 20 years from today. We'll go back in time to that point in your life where you're thinking to yourself, I'm going to be successful. I am definitely going to be rich. I am going to be wealthy. I'm going to own that car. I'm going to buy that house. I'm going to build that estate. I'm going to be this influential. I have so much money. Remember that point when you're telling yourself, one day I'll just walk in ShopRite and say, close the doors, everything in here has been paid for, right? That future that we once dreamt of or that we still are dreaming of is possible. I'd love to put out there, it's possible. It's greatly dependent on your personal relationship with money, right? Now it's down the hill, right? So it's possible to attain that future that we have, but it's greatly dependent on your personal relationship with money. So how does a positive relationship with money look like? So it looks like having a clear understanding of your financial goals and taking the necessary steps to work towards them. It means having a clear plan for budgeting, savings, tracking your spending, and making cautious decisions about how you allocate your money. Now, if this sounds complex, let me try and break it down for all of us. When you have a positive relationship with money, you know where it's coming from. You know what you spend it on. Why is that relevant? If you get to a point in life where you don't know where your money is going, firstly, you don't exactly have a clear picture of how much in aggregate you have earned. Secondly, it is very difficult for you to determine which expenditure that you made is exactly not an essential element for you to spend on, which is a problem. When one has a positive relationship with money, primarily, they must be able to know, oh, okay, hey, you know what? I think this month I earned a total of 1,000, 200 from this source, 100 from this source. How did I spend it? Okay, I bought 10 kwacha that time. I bought so. Okay. Now at the end of the month, what should I do? I look at my financials. Okay, I think this expenditure was irrelevant. I don't think I should be spending this amount of money if I'm to reach my goal. That's the kind of conversation you must be having with yourself if you're to develop a positive relationship with your money. Because remember, let's think in our heads. Let's think about the 10 years from today. The vision that we want to have, the money that we want to have. Did you actually know that even these individuals who get paid as high as 90,000 net pay are having finance decisions because they haven't still cultured a discipline with their money? I'm sure you've seen them, heard about them, interacted with them in a position where someone gets paid, but there's absolutely no or little development or growth. What happens with their money? It's spent. Where is it spent? You don't know. Right. Ever been in a situation where I said, we don't record our money. So we we ask ourselves those questions because we don't know where the money is going. So recording your finances is absolutely essential. One key thing I'll have to speak to about having a positive relationship with your money as a young person is this: education about your money. Right? Education. I'll speak to two things. One being education, which I think is critical. The other being contentment. Education. You must learn to invest in learning about how best you can literally utilize your money. This being the first episode of the podcast, as you may know, we're definitely going to dive into different and various conversations about savings, for example, where questions will be based on that, on the aspect of how do you save when you don't earn much? How do you save when you don't exactly have enough? How do you save when you don't know exactly how to save money? Ways that you can save your money and things like that. But you need to understand that when you don't invest in learning about money, you find yourself in a situation where you're not exactly informed on how best you should treat your money. So the fact that you're not informed on how best you treat your money creates that loophole that you don't exactly have that necessary discipline with your money, right? It is not that, I believe to a certain extent, it is not that you are not in a position of getting enough money. That's why we're having, that's why we're at that current financial status or having these financial problems. To some extent, it's actually because we have no financial discipline. We don't know how much money, for example, did you earn last year, last month? How much money did you earn? All the 5 kwaches you received, the 10 kwaches, the 20 kwaches, 50 kwaches, 100 kwaches from different sources. Did you record for it? Did you account for it? Imagine being in a position where at the end of the year, you're able to say, this year I earned in total of, say, for example, 50,000. Of this 50,000, I spent this percentage on things such as food. I spent this percentage on clothes, this percentage on airtime. That kind of relation with money is key for you to get to your future. People are going to tell you, funny enough, people would say that he always counts for his money. Yeah, you're supposed to. I would encourage it even. Positive relationship with money has more to do with you recording your money, you tracking your spending, knowing where it's going, understanding that money is a tool to be used to improve your life and reach your goals. Right. So information is key. Information is principle. So let's come down to the aspect of information. How best to invest in learning about finance. Right. So podcasts such as these are a platform that you can learn on how best you can, become financially disciplined. YouTube videos, right? There are many other podcasts that talk about finance that you can also listen to. Articles, blogs. There are reels now that you can find on Facebook, TikTok as well, where you can literally learn about finance. And once you learn, you have to practice, right? So you have a variety of episodes on savings, on investments. We'll have a variety of episodes on how best you can record your money, right? So it's always a matter of having a good, positive relationship with your money. A good, positive relationship with your money is one that clearly shows you understand, right, your financial goals. You understand your money. You understand where it's coming from. You understand where it's going. And I think let it be not something that complicates you. A financial goal is a financial target that you want to achieve. For example, you may say, you know what? I think on average every month I earn about 500 kwacha. I want to save 20 kwacha by the end of the month. That's a financial goal, right? So we'll discuss issues such as financial goals and many other things on this podcast platform. But for us to be able to get to discuss such kind of related issues, primarily we need to understand that having a positive relationship with money is essential. What happens then when you don't have a positive relationship with money? Here's what happens. Your expenditure in the least is something that will even surprise you. You spend on things that you define as needs, but they are not. You will find yourself in a situation where you feel like you're the supplier. You are the only person who's spending. You have got, but you don't know how much you're earning. You don't know how much you're spending, and that's primarily evil to you. You're doing yourself a disservice. If anything, if you have goals as far as being someone who's wealthy and your expense now is something that you don't keep track of, you impulsively buy things. You're one person who'd walk into ShopRite, I'm going to buy a bar of soap. I'll buy a bar of soap. You come back with a whole trolley. How then do you expect to get that particular point in time where the money works for you and you don't work for your money? So a positive relationship with money is important. So each and every time consistently when you receive money, the first question you should ask yourself is, what is my relationship with this money, right? Do I know where it's coming from? Do I know where it's going? And issues like that. You need to, first of all, record your money, where it's coming from. Secondly, record where you've spent it on. Thirdly, budget for your money. Our advice, don't spend on it unless you budget for it. Our advice, only spend on it if you haven't budgeted for it, if it's an emergency, right? Don't spend on it if you can't afford it. Don't spend on it just to impress someone. Don't spend on it just because you feel you need to satisfy a feeling, or you need to put yourself in a space of feeling a certain level of importance that is not exactly you need, and you don't have that money, right? So there's that too. Positive relationship with money looks like you not impulsively buying things. By impulsively buying, I just mean, if I just walk into the shop and I just buy things because you think you can afford them, or you have to your name between you and poverty is 100 kwacha. Just walk in the shop and, okay, I think I bought my bowl. So, mentos, sweets, you buy. That's impulse buying, chief. You haven't planned about it. You just say, okay, I need this. That's impulse buying. That's what it is, right? A positive relationship with money is you understanding that money is a tool, right, to help you, to aid you in getting more money, right? Even people who do business, they will tell you, if your business capital is small, your profits will be small. What do? They reinvest the principal and the interest. The more they grow the capital, the more they start making more money. So you who are in a position where there's no existing business that you have, you've got family members that you have to sponsor, and the financial discipline is not quite okay, and you've got your own personal things you have to invest in. At one particular point in time, you have to buy clothes. You don't even know you don't even know how much you earn, how much you spend. But then you find yourself in this position where you just want to do you. It's not a positive thing. It's not something that you can definitely rely on and depend on. You need to develop a positive relationship with your money. Start by understanding where it's coming from. It's as easy as, okay, today I received a 5 kwacha from my friend Grace. You recorded 5 kwacha from Grace. Before you even get the complicated stuff, write it down, right? You don't have to be an accountant. Write it down. 5 kwacha from Grace. 5 kwacha, okay, what did I do? I bought 2 kwacha airtime bundles. Write it down. I bought 2 kwacha airtime. You know where your money is coming from. You know where your money is actually going. At the end of the day, you're on the better end. I'll keep on emphasizing on issues such as you budgeting, all right? You budgeting, tracking your spending, things such as savings, knowing your financial goals. A positive relationship with money as a young person is critical. If and when you don't have a positive relationship with money, it will be very difficult for you to actually actualize the vision that you actually have. As I said in the beginning, that vision is first of all possible, or you're absolutely wealthy and you're doing better than other people. Did you actually come to a point of realization where these people that you actually, some of them that you actually call rich kids in your neighborhood and your closest vicinity, are just people who are financially disciplined more than you are, and they know where to put their money at what particular point in time to get what kind of money on top, and you don't do it. That's why they look like they're rich kids, and you are literally confused about it. The other downside, if I may speak to this as well, is that when you're not financially disciplined, it has a psychological effect on you, right? I think there was this meme that was trending around a particular point in time where there are 2 children for some reason sitting, and the other was literally chewing on a bone, and the caption was, "This is how witchcraft starts." It tell me wisely. If you and I get the same money today, we both get 500 kwacha. I decide, okay, you know what? 500 kwacha. Me, I'm going to loan this money out. I'll loan it. I don't exactly need it now. I'll loan the money so that by next month, it will increase by 35%. Okay, cool, great. I loan the money at 35% interest. One of my friends wants to use it, I was used for it. They return it at 35% of interest. You, who thinks 200 kwacha, I don't have anything to do with it. Okay, you know what? Let me just buy this new trousers. Plus, I still like a nice shirt. I like it. By the end of the month, what you have is a worn-out shirt, probably a torn trousers. What will I have? 500 kwacha plus 35% interest of the principal, right? So it's not necessarily that we are cut from a different cloth as young people. It's our habits with money, how we relate with money. So remember what I said in the beginning, saying, I quoted Proverbs where it says, you're getting understanding. Get your understanding on this, right? How exactly, ask yourself this, how exactly do you define money as a person? What exactly does money mean to you, right? I can give you a timeline. There was a point in your life when money was something that you'd buy a snack for, right? This is when you're in your early stages of childhood. Whenever you had money, it was a snack. Money, majigis, my popcorn, you buy, you're satisfied, you're good. You didn't necessarily see the relevance of money for you to buy clothes because they're being provided for. As you grow, you realize that parents are not going to buy you clothes. You have to buy clothes for yourself. As you grow, you're in university, they send you money that's not as equally as enough. So you have to capitalize on it to make the best of it. As you grow, you find yourself in a situation where you're now in relationships. You have to sponsor someone. They have to sponsor you, and all these kind of complex issues. Before you know it, you are an independent young youth, and you are literally at a point where you don't have savings, you don't have an existing business, you're still getting money from home, you're now a financial burden to your parents. and it's a problem to society. And you're the first person who's saying there are no jobs in the country because you are saying today that ends. It starts from somewhere. So it's all these kind of related things because you need to develop a positive relationship with your money. I'll say it again, the vision that you have of being someone who's wealthy, someone who has a very lovely family and you're able to provide for them, vice versa, is possible. That vision is possible as a young person. You can attain it, you can achieve it, but you have to understand your money. You have to build a positive relationship with your money. This podcast is specifically tailored for that. When we start series on savings, when we start series on investments, when we start series on credit and debt management, how you can manage your Kongol, how you can manage how you can best use credit to your advantage, all those kind of related things are just to get you on a better end of making a financial decision that is actually informed, to see on how best you can capitalize and save some money as you actually make that decision. That's how it's supposed to be. So as young people, we need to be informed about our money. We need to learn. So instead of you spending 3 hours on Facebook just watching reels and TikToks, dedicate an hour to read a blog, to watch a YouTube video on how best you can save your money, on how best you can track your money, on how best you can literally be content with your money. Remember, I mentioned the second thing I'm going to talk about is you finding fulfillment in experiences and relationships with your money. You need to learn to be content with your current financial situation. That being said, I don't mean you should be comfortable. I mean you should be content. This is what I have. I need to work with this to get where I want to be. I'm not preaching that you start saying, I'm comfortable here, let me stay here. No. Don't get me wrong. Be content in a way that this is how much I have. I have a 500. Okay, cool. I'm working with 500 to get to where I want to get. That's a 50,000 or something like that. Don't start looking at Joe's money as that saying, but Joe and a 50 and a 500 cash. How am I going to? No. Be content with what you have. Try and work with what you have. Establish relationships with people that have got a better financial understanding on money. Establish relationships with people that definitely are able to do their personal finances well. What do you talk about in your friendship circles? Maybe that's a conversation you need to have for you to understand your money. You have zero conversations on how best you can save money as young people. You have zero conversations on how best you as a group of young people and friends can literally use that money, put your money together, invest it in something. Zero conversations on starting businesses. Just how exactly do you think you're going to attain that vision that you have? Think about it. Get understanding in this area. A positive relationship with your money is something that works for you and your benefits. So you need to culture it. You need to develop it. That discipline comes by being informed. As such, you need to be a young person who's constantly informed about your money, right? Things to do with budgeting, savings, credit, debt, investment, retirement planning. Yes, at this particular point in time, in as much as maybe you plan for your retirement, right? All these are issues that we're going to cover here on Ground Zero, the finance edition. We'll talk about financial goals. You need to be informed as young people. And I'll keep on saying this, all you're getting, get understanding as the Bible says. So let's invest money. Your takeaway from this should be, and let's invest money. Let's invest time in learning about finance. Let's invest time in discussing with our peers about finance. Let's invest time in social media, learning on finance, videos, blogs, pictures, and whatever, right? The Ground Zero podcast page on Facebook will literally share daily, did you know quotes? We'll share articles daily on finance. Read, go through, interact, have questions. Even after this episode, you can literally just get to interact and get to ask your Q's and A's on, personal relationships with money. How do you manage your money? How do you save your money? How do you do all these kind of related issues? It's a platform for young people to get to have finance conversations that they are on the better end of making an informed decision about their money. That's what this platform is. So as young people, my vision is clear and my vision is public, but we may be a generation that understands and definitely puts the money where it's supposed to be put for us to become, to find ourselves on a better end of making that financial informed decision. That's what Ground Zero is about. As such, I'd love to encourage every young person to build a positive relationship with their money. The dream that you have is possible. If anything, dream bigger. The vision that you have is possible. If anything, envision bigger. But you need to develop a proper culture with your money. You need to understand your money. You need to be financially disciplined with your money. As such, with Ground Zero, we'll provide a platform for conversations, also provide information. It is up to you to practice that which we communicate. And from time to time, I would definitely provide links to some of the applications you can use to track your money. I'll provide links to some of the YouTube videos you can watch about how you can save money, how you can, plan for your money, set financial goals and things like that. Because that's what life is supposed to be about, getting informed and being on the better end of making financial decisions. I appreciate the time that you've taken to listen to this episode today. Next Sunday, we're definitely, should we start with savings or should we start with financial planning? Financial planning it is. So we'll start with financial planning. We'll start with financial planning series on Sunday on the next episode, so that we kind of talk about how best you can plan for your financials, how best you can plan for your week, your month, how best you can set financial goals and things like that. It's a platform for education and interaction. You can be sure to share this link if you love a friend or someone else to kind of listen to this podcast as well and engages me at any particular point in time so that we are able to interact and engage. It has been your host, Enoch, on Ground Zero. Thanks for being here and hope to catch you next time. Listen closely. I have a dream that young people would be informed and empowered to make the right decisions about their money. Welcome to Ground Zero, your go-to source for everything finance. Each week, we will bring you insights and analysis on the latest in the world of finance, as well as practical advice on how you can navigate the often complex world of personal finance, from budgeting, savings, and investments, credit and debt management. We'll cover it all so you can make the best and informed decisions about your money. Join us as we explore the world of finance and help you build a strong financial foundation for your future. Listen in every Sunday at 14 hours as we swim through the world of personal finance. Welcome to Ground Zero. Welcome home.